mostly cutting things back that are overgrown, and so that for the rest of the garden season they look good. And it occurred to me as I was cutting things back that earlier this year in the spring, when I was up in Georgia planting some pots for my friend Kate, that I did a little video called Workhorse Plants for Pots. And there are a lot of plants that are just really, really great plants, either for putting into pots or for planting in the ground, that just give you so much and ask so little. So when I was trimming all of these things, I thought I would talk to you about what I like to do with my trimmings, because all of these things in my hand, with the exception of this fern, which I stuck in here just because it's pretty, will root if you put them in water. So let's take a look at that. Let's talk first about coleus. This is one of my favorite plants. I consider this a huge workhorse. There's so many different types of coleus. You can get coleus for shade, coleus for sun. This happens to be a sun coleus. And these things are just absolutely incredible. I bought one plant that looked like this. Isn't that gorgeous? Check out that leaf. One plant. And about a week and a half ago, when I cut these back, I just decided to plop them in water. And oh, guess what they do? Looky there. So now from that one plant, just from these things that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants that are rooted and could go back in the ground or into a pot. So this is one of the things that I love about coleus, is that it gets huge, it gets out of control, and you have to cut it back, but you don't have to throw the cuttings away. You can root the cuttings. So let me show you how to do that. First, let's take a look at the things that I trimmed. All of these are plants that get leggy, and so it's mid-September. I've got about another 2 months of growing season left, and I wanted things to have a chance to bloom again. So I cut some things back and I fertilized them, and here's what we've got. This is an angel wing begonia. I think it's an angel wing. And these things, oh my gosh, these things ask so little and give so much. This has just gotten leggy, so I cut it back. And as I said, I'm not really going for rooting this stuff today. I'm going to show you how to root it as much as I am. I'd like to make an arrangement with this stuff. This is a cuttings from a polka dot plant, green polka dot plant. Oh, we've got a piece of ivy mixed in there. And some variegated English ivy, which, by the way, you should not grow in the ground. It's invasive. I've got some in pots. Here is some of the coleus I just showed you. Here's another coleus. And here is a gorgeous green coleus. So I'm going to make an arrangement in this pot that I filled with water. And what's going to happen is, if I keep the water clean and if I keep putting water in it, all of this stuff will root. Now you can see up here in this planter, these begonias I rooted from cuttings. All of this stuff has been rooted from cuttings, and I just threw it into this pot and kept it watered. This one I actually rooted years ago, and I've kept it going in various pots for a number of years, just continue to cut it back and root it. So you can buy a plant once and keep it going. As a matter of fact, I think I originally got that plant as a cutting from my neighbor Jessica about 4 years ago. So anyway, those guys will grow right through the winter. If you take them inside, they'll grow through the winter, and you put them back outside again. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put all of these together into an arrangement, but as we do so, I'm going to show you how you would prepare them, either for an arrangement or for rooting. We do make rooting powder, but we don't need that for any of these things here because they're just so hardy. I'm going to start with my largest things first. Usually, if I was intending to root these and grow them into plants, I wouldn't use something this big. I would cut it back to up here at the top, but I want something that's kind of going to provide some structure in there. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to trim this to right above that little node there. You see that? And I'm going to, with my fingernails, I'm just going to remove these little leaves down here. If I don't remove them, they'll rot off, which isn't the end of the world, but. And then take this off as well. And then what's going to happen is all along these nodes, instead of it putting out leaves, it's going to put out roots. So I'm just going to lay that in there. I'm going to do these other two as well. Make sure we've got those leaves off. Yeah, I think that's good. And this. So you can see that's a really full, gorgeous looking arrangement already. It may actually be too much. I'm going to have to take some of these lower leaves off. So I'm going to start by taking off some of the ones that are a little bit insect damaged. Okay, so I have taken a smaller container and put it down inside this larger container just because I need to have some structure to hold things up. So I've trimmed off the lower leaves and branches here, and as I said earlier, this is where the roots are going to be growing out from here. And I'm going to start with my largest things that are going to sort of form the backbone. I'm going to put in these three larger pieces of coleus that are going to be in the center. I'm going to add this fern in here. It's not going to root, but I just like it. Okay, and let's put in this other coleus. Now these are looking a little wilty because they've been out of the, they've just been on the sidewalk outside for a little while, but they'll perk back up. And now let's add some begonias. I think I'm going to need to take down the height on these. So let's cut that down to here and trim it up to here. That's better. Same thing with this one. I'm going to take it up to that next node and we'll trim here. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Let's put in another of these, a couple more of these red ones. And then we'll add our begonias. Now the begonias, I think I'm going to put them into the container on the outside, because they're going to kind of hang over the edge. And you can see I am not good at making flower arrangements, but hey, I think anything looks good if it's got color. And I'm going to put this one in here. It's all curled up and I'm counting on it to straighten out as it reaches for the sun. So I'm going to put this one down in here with these others. Okay, so we're starting to get a little color in there. It's looking kind of nice. Okay, it's not too bad. So here's my rooting flower arrangement, and what I'm going to have to be sure that I do is to come through here on a 2-3 times a week, put my finger down in here, make sure that it's got water. About once a week I'll need to empty it out and fill it back up with fresh water. But in about 2 weeks, as you can see, the coleus is going to already be putting out roots. I have been known to go through garden centers, and where I find pieces of coleus on the ground, I just pick them up and throw them in my purse and take them home and root them. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to sweep them up off the floor, right? So, anyway, let's put this in some sort of place of honor. It's kind of a mess right now. We'll see how it looks in a couple days. We're going to put that right there. Move our lamp over just a little bit. What do you think? I think it looks kind of nice. Looks kind of nice. So anyway, this is one of the things that I like to do with the cuttings. A lot of times I'll put them out just for a bunch of color here in the patio. Sometimes with the idea that I'm going to root them. Sometimes just with the idea I want to splash of color for a while. And there you have it. So we have coleus, variegated English ivy, got some dragon wing begonias, a polka dot plant, 3 different kinds of coleus. All of them are sun coleus. And you definitely should try this at home.